Okay, so we've started. Okay, so this is basically a prediction video for WWE Money in the Bank 2016. I'm just going to do a quick mic test to make sure that, the volume is good and stuff, and then we'll get started. Testing, 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 testing. Okay, yep, the volume is good. I did test it beforehand, but it completely changes when you go live for some reason. That's what I've learned in my experience. So, as I mentioned, this is the predictions for the 2016 Money in the Bank. Just briefly, for those of you that have always asked why I don't look focused directly on the camera as I am right now, it's because the camera is actually on top of the PC screen, and that's where, I read the latest rumors and notes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm here with my friend Long Dick Sham. You can search up his channel, probably leave a link in the description down below if I remember. My fucking memory is shit. I'm playing WWE Supercards, and we are just chilling out, waiting for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view to start in approximately 2 hours and a half. So basically, there were, up until a couple of days ago, only a few matches. But now looking on Wikipedia, and I know you have to pretty much take Wikipedia with a pinch of salt these days, but there seems to be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches, with 2 of those being on the pre-show. Since Raw ended, I think we have got 2 matches added to the cards. So Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Becky Lynch, whilst Dolph Ziggler will battle Baron Corbin for what seems to be the 100th time. We learned that Apollo Crews will face Sheamus on Monday Night Raw. We learned that on Monday Night Raw that match will take place. The latest betting odds, when Sheamus and myself put bets on yesterday, the latest betting odds had more or less, exactly what many people would think. It had Rusev going over, it had Roman Reigns going over, and basically that was it for the predictable matches, in my opinion. But Coral, the bookmakers, they actually had AJ Styles, the massive favourite to go over in this match against John Cena, as well as Dean Ambrose, the favourite to win the Money in the Bank, which you actually seem to think he will. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he will.
I don't know if you're just changing your mind because of the odds that you saw like yesterday, but
not really. I just think Dean Ambrose maybe win, and I don't know, maybe we'll cash it in, and the next pay-per-view, a triple threat match with Seth, Roman, and Dean.
So basically, a SummerSlam Shield triple threat or something like that.
Yes, that's correct. I say. But I would want Kevin Owens or Jericho to win.
I still can't believe that, even though, these betting websites do seem to be quite in the know, obviously the biggest blunder that any of them ever made was betting The Undertaker, the favourite, against Brock Lesnar. That was the equivalent of Leicester City winning the Premier League. But, no, I mean, I wouldn't have thought, if I didn't see these betting odds, I wouldn't have thought Dean Ambrose was the favourite, but we'll get more into that in a bit. Let's start with arguably the most boring match on the card. We're not going to do pre-show. Actually, we can do pre-show quickly. Let's not go too deep into it, though. Lucha Dragons versus the Dudley Boys. That's on the pre-show. Who you got?
Say the Lucha Dragons.
Pretty much, yeah, Lucha Dragons. The Dudley Boys have become nothing but glorified, nostalgic jobbers. So, Golden Truth versus Tyler Breeze and Fandango. I'm not saying that fucking name. That's crazy. Come on, we ain't got all day for a pre-show match.
Fandango. Because I think
all right, man. Calm yourself down. We ain't got fucking years for a pre-show match. So fucking, he thinks Breezango. I think the Golden Truth. They got to fucking win a match eventually. So yeah, after all that, Mr. fucking wants to spend 30 minutes talking about the pre-show. We'll go on to Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin for our first and arguably most boring match of the night. Who you got?
Ziggler.
This guy's got Dolph Ziggler to beat Baron Corbin. That's no.
No.
That ain't happening. Well, it's very interesting. I thought it would take us a little bit longer to disagree on a result, but I don't see WWE having Ziggler win against Baron Corbin for what should be obvious reasons. But we'll skimp and scamper right over that because WWE didn't care enough about this match to obviously promote it more than a couple of days out. So much so that it actually didn't have betting odds when we looked yesterday on the Saturday. So the second most boring match of the night, arguably, you have Apollo Crews versus Sheamus. Who you got?
I say Sheamus.
Is this guy trying to make dumb predictions on purpose or what, Lex? Yeah. Okay. No. You can't change your mind.
All right then.
Fuck you. See, on the level, this guy seriously thinks WWE are gonna have two NXT talents that have just come up lose. I know WWE are stupid, but they're surely not that stupid. But surely this is what many people are claiming to be Apollo Crews' breakout match. Going a bit further into detail, you'd say that he has showed some character recently. He is good in the ring, but at the same time, he does botch even the simplest of spots, as evidenced by his match against Jericho a couple of weeks ago. But Crews gets the W here because, let's face it, Sheamus is a reliable hand that can get his heel momentum back at any point. Okay, arguably we go again to one of the most obvious matches, and let's see if you completely get this prediction wrong. You know, Jesus Christ.
Which one?
Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. Who you got? Rusev. Yeah, for once, we're 2 matches in. Well, yeah, basically 2 matches into the main card, 3 actually, including this one, and we finally agree on a prediction. Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. Rusev has surely got to retain. I mean, unless WWE are having a groveling apology for suspending Titus O'Neil a couple of weeks ago, I really don't know. But I'd be hard pushed to think that they are actually sorry enough to hand this man the United States title, especially after what a killer Rusev has been made out to be. It needs to say no more than that, like, basically. So moving on, you got Charlotte and Becky Lynch versus Natalya and Charlotte and Dana Brooke, actually. We were going back to what they used to be called? Team PCB.
Yeah.
Or fucking PC. No, that's that fucking.
PCB, I think.
That's that stupid fucking WWE Supercard game, PCP, but no, PCC, but fucking no, PCB.
Yeah.
That was fucking. They were called the Submission Sorority for like 1 week. They were named after some fucking porn website or something. But Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Becky Lynch. Who you got?
I think Natalya and Becky Lynch maybe do it.
That's actually one we agree on again, simply because like they're trying to play up the fact that Charlotte and Dana have had their problems. It started this Monday, and I think this alliance will be over pretty soon. Considering, come on, man, Dana Brooke was arguably brought up too early anyway. She was brought up to be Emma's partner. Then Emma got injured, unfortunately, and that was pretty much that. Okay, we're moving on to the last 3 or 4 big matches of the night now. The New Day versus I'm not going to call them I cannot call them the Club. They're called Bullet Club, for fuck's sake. I can't even settle for Balor Club. Like, but honestly, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus also Enzo Amore, Big Cass, and the Raw Villains. Who you got?
Saying new champions with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
I probably would have gone with you, but seeing those odds on Coral the other day really influenced me. Like, they actually had New Day as quite favourable to retain, which is a bit of a shocker. I know. You shouldn't always listen to the bookies' odds, but I don't know, man. They managed to change my mind on 2 big matches, and this is one of them. I think, looking at it from a common sense point of view, the New Day are retain, and then at SummerSlam, when New Day have had the belts for about a year, the Club, if they're still hot by then, will beat them, and Enzo Amore and Big Cass after this match will go and feud with the Vaudevillains. And by the time the club win the tag team titles, Enzo and Cass will be ready for a title match of their own, and they'll start a feud. So next match, John Cena versus AJ Styles. Who you got and why?
I think AJ Styles will maybe do it now.
Well,
Because why?
you bet on John Cena.
I know I would want John Cena, but I think
It's not about who you want. I want England to win the Euros, but I wouldn't actually. I have bet on them to win the Euros, but only 50p. If I had to bet like everything I own on who will win the Euros, I'd probably bet on France or Spain. It's not about who you want to win; it's about who you think.
But okay, I want John Cena to win, yeah. But I think
again, it's not about who you want; it's about who you think. Come on.
I think John Cena maybe do it.
What? No, but you just spent the last 2 minutes spouting to me about AJ
I'll
stuff.
stick with John Cena.
The force is strong with this one. What, are you going to fucking wear one of them t-shirts and the fucking wristbands next year and a little John Cena hat or something?
Maybe the wristbands.
At least I'm interested to know, as they probably will be, tell us why you think John Cena's going to win today.
I think AJ Styles will just mess up something. But in my head, I just keep thinking, maybe Bullet Club will just freaking interfere on this match.
So you think they're going to interfere and basically fuck up the interference, yeah?
Yeah.
And then Big Match John is going to win against all odds. Sounds familiar, but it ain't going to happen this time. Think about it, lads. If I was a betting man, which I unfortunately am, fuck you, France, fuck you, Ronaldo, fuck you, Portugal. But yeah, if I was a betting man, I would say that, come on, think about it, right? WrestleMania, Payback, Extreme Rules, 3 pay-per-views, albeit against high-profile superstars. And I don't care what you smarks say, Jericho is a high-profile superstar. He is a legend. He is a viable threat to anyone. This guy was the first ever undisputed champion. He beat Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night, blah, 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 right? So don't give me that. AJ Styles has lost 3 pay-per-view matches in a row. They surely aren't going to make him lose a 4th. Hence why I'm going with AJ Styles. Brilliant. So our second to last match, Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Alberto Del Rio versus Sami Zayn versus Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho in the Money in the Bank ladder match, where the winner will receive a contract for a title match to cash in, well, any point over the next year. Strange how the brand split could affect this, but before we even discuss that, who you got?
I'd say Dean Ambrose.
Why?
Just feel like he will win and then he maybe catch the thing. It looks like the next
You
pay-per-view.
really think WWE are that brave though with Dean Ambrose? I mean, I get what you're saying, yeah. If Roman Reigns beats Seth Rollins clean like he did AJ Styles, people are gonna fucking lose their shit. But at the same time, Vince McMahon won't give up on his pet project. So I get what you're saying. You think the easy way out, you know, while they don't have to put the title back on Seth yet, but so they don't go mental, you think they're going to have Dean Ambrose win it? Is that what you're basically saying?
So, yeah. Just feel like it will happen and a triple threat match will come.
Recently, I must admit, I've been too fucking influenced by betting odds, bruv, all around the fucking place. Like this, I've got betting fever during the Euros, but the odds, guys, like I don't know if it's legal for me to tell you like the exact betting odds, but it had like Dean Ambrose. I'll risk it, fuck it. But it had Dean Ambrose at like 125. So literally, if you put £1 on, you'd only get 25p back. That's how much of a favourite Dean Ambrose was. The next one was Kevin Owens, which I think Vince McMahon, right now at this moment, I think Vince McMahon and Triple H are having beef right now at this very moment as we record this. Triple H is saying, no, let's trust my boy Kevin Owens. Vince McMahon saying, no, god damn it, I don't think he could wrestle. Blah, 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 blah. Dean Ambrose. Basically. Del Rio ain't got a chance because he's about as boring as fucking, I don't know, fucking Doritos without no flavour. Cesaro, Vince just don't trust him, sadly, which is fucking pathetic. Sami Zayn hasn't been around long enough just yet. Dean Ambrose could be the most viable option considering he's been used in that main event guy. He's like a main event jobber, actually. But and then Chris Jericho. And after we finished our predictions, there's an interesting side note I want to put on Jericho. But Jericho won't win simply because he goes and comes back every so often. But
there is one more thing here. I think Kevin.
You can't change your prediction.
No. I'm not predicting it. I am sticking with Dean Ambrose. Why? I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they will have beef again.
You think they're going to have beef again at Battleground?
In the next pay-per-view.
Battleground, and fuck you, man. The only thing I love their matches, yeah, when they fucking do this, like they're both of them punching each other in the head and all that, but they beef too much, man. Fucking hell. Them guys.
Freaking every day happens on Raw. That's why I just feel like that's going to happen.
This is a hard one to predict. You're going with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
I'm saying Triple H is going to win. We're going to see Kevin Owens walking out with the title. Why? Because the Shield main event was a brilliant idea. Maybe about even 6 to 8 months ago. But this is what I'm saying, and I want you guys to see this in the camera, yeah. So let's just make it clear. Right, Roman Reigns is about here. He is so shit. Yeah, so low down, bruv. He's boring. He can't talk. No doubt he's a nice guy, but he's boring. He can't talk. He
freaking says the same shit.
He can wrestle, but obviously to the degree that we're used to seeing, he's not a good wrestler. Dean Ambrose is literally only about there for me. I don't like Dean Ambrose. He's basically a PG Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, and fucking like, you know, when he put that green paint on Seth Rollins in the Money in the Bank briefcase that time, I thought I was watching fucking Nickelodeon. It was fucking ridiculous. And then, honestly, you have those two fucking idiots, and then you have Seth Rollins, and he is like here. He is like here.
Correct.
Here, man. Like, the camera probably can't even see me. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Rollins, completely on another level. The guy can talk. The guy can wrestle. The guy can be a babyface. He can be a heel. He could be anything. Now, this is the thing, right? At some point, Seth Rollins has to turn face. At some point, it's inevitable. We're just waiting.
Yeah.
So they need a guy. Kevin Owens is a special guy, right? He can play a heel, and while people love him, they still boo him. That's rare because if most people like heel, they'll just cheer for him. So, you know, they're not really doing a good job of being a heel. For some reason, Kevin Owens has mastered it perfectly. I'm saying Owens walks out with the thing. Before we predict the last match, interesting side note, and tweet me during the Money in the Bank tonight, or even when this video goes live, right, and tell me, what would you guys think, right, if Jericho won the Money in the Bank? And don't shoot me just yet. Hear me out. This guy was like, what the fuck when I first mentioned it, but then I explained it to him. I converted him around to my way of thinking, and he was like, oh yeah. Jericho wins Money in the Bank. The brand split happens. Jericho goes away. The brand split happens. It's total chaos. You could say the world title returns. You could say whatever you want. And Jericho disappears for months. Jericho does a Brock Lesnar. Then when he's next ready to return, we don't even know. After a title match, a pay-per-view, the lights go out like they used to do when Jericho did his jacket entrance, although he stopped doing that in favor of a stupid scarf, whatever. And he just waxed the champion around the head with a briefcase, gets the referee in there. 1, 2, 3. I don't care if it's Seth, Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens. I would say Undertaker, but if he done that to the Undertaker, I'd be livid. But you know, I don't care who it is. The actual shock of like, holy shit, we haven't actually seen this guy for months. We had no idea he was coming back, and he's just clocked the champion round the head with the briefcase. They didn't stand a chance. And Jericho, even if the title reign only lasts a month, I guarantee you 4 episodes of Raw with heel Jericho, chicken shit pussy Jericho as champion, combined with the initial shock of him actually cashing in, would be so much more entertaining than 4 months of Roman Reigns. Enough said. So we end this prediction on, unfortunately, what will probably be a sour note. Roman Reigns, the unbeatable god, the most unbeatable thing since Hulk Hogan in the late 80s, versus Seth Rollins. Who you got and why?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, me too. Why? Because WWE just don't love us anymore. You know, unpredictability is what makes television. I remember tuning into the odd Raw episode and thinking to me, Stone Cold can actually lose the title tonight. That never happens anymore. It's so rare that we even get title matches on Raw in general. I mean, look at when Roman Reigns faced Sheamus for the belt. I think it was in late December, maybe after TLC. People hate Roman. But for that one night, they were actually cheering for Roman because they wanted to change, and it was different. Jericho winning the Money in the Bank, Seth winning the title. Hell, that mystery 7th competitor that never turned up. Kurt Angle? Maybe. Bray Wyatt? Maybe. The point is that WWE don't care enough to surprise us anymore. But that's a whole different video. I'm not going to go off ranting about that again. But yeah, unfortunately, the betting odds said Roman Reigns was a fucking far right favorite as well. So, you know, whatever. He's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He's not even the guy. He's just a boring guy. Pretty much. So, just to recap your predictions, Lucha Dragons versus Dudleys, who you got?
Lucha Dragons.
Golden Truth versus Breezango.
Tyler, Breeze, and Fantango.
Okay, Apollo Crews, Sheamus. Baron Corbin, Ziggler. Charlotte, you know, that actually fucking stumped me for a bit because I actually couldn't. I had to remind myself that you actually did say Ziggler. Couldn't believe it. Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natty and Becky.
Becky.
Rusev and Titus. New Day. New Day, Gallows and Anderson, Big Cass. Okay, then yeah, the club. What the fuck did I say? What was my prediction?
You said the New Day.
Yeah, I'm going for the New Day to retain. Yeah, Money in the Bank ladder match.
Dean Ambrose.
I'm going KO. AJ John. AJ. Roman Reigns, Seth.
Boring guy.
Please, someone fucking say so. Oh god, this prediction video is over at that fucking rate. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning into this prediction video. Hopefully you've enjoyed something different. Thank you again to Long Dick Sham who joined me during this video. Tell you what though, man, fucking mate. This has just been a terrible fucking couple of days. And it would cap it off tonight within 6 hours time at 4 a.m. we stayed up the whole fucking night because we're from the UK, we're bastards, we're fat bastards. We stay up all night and we see Roman Reigns, that stupid fucking pose he does. Yeah, you can't even, he's too lazy to look at him, he's like this. He's too lazy to even hold his hands up all the way like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if Roman Reigns retains with that Dean Ambrose coming,
I'm telling you now, they will not trust Dean Ambrose with the belt.
Let's
bet money, me and you then.
Fine.
YouTube on it right now. I bet you Dean Ambrose will not be champion by the end of the night. Pound.
Fine.
There you go. Alright guys, anyway, seriously, cheers for watching. Yeah. When the fun stops, stop. Don't gamble. No, seriously, man, don't fucking gamble.
Do that.
Fucking Portugal. No, Ronaldo, you fucking owe me money. Cristiano,
You lost my money. Fucking dickhead.
All right, we're out.
Peace.
Peace. Fucking hell, Ronaldo.